Playing second. Yeah, I'll put the 2 in. I'll make a species with the climbing. And I think I'll just leave them there. If that loses me one compared to the cooperation, so be it. I don't think it's worth risking the cooperation onto these carnivores. Hopefully someone else reacts to this with a carnivore of their own. That's definitely what should happen when the first player plays 4 species. Someone should carnivore it. Now after seeing 4, should I have gone 3? Maybe. Yeah, that's a lot of numbers that are far too large. For the people making 4 species, going overboard is sensible. This time, really, I just want to put in the least amount of food that I possibly can, which is this 2. And then I'm going to put up as many traits as I can to make everything look very solidly defended without it actually being very solidly defended. I might switch the climbing and the hard shell. Because, you know, I can snake a symbiosis for this one day, and hard shell plus 2 body size is always a nice way to stop carnivores that don't have pack hunting. So if I put in 2 and I eat 4, that should be fine. Eventually I should start starving these people who have heaps of species. If they're all putting in too much food, they should realize it's benefiting someone who's not themselves. I mean, for at least 2 of them. I sort of hope it's not a carnivore, just because, like this. Although other people have put out more species than me, so it shouldn't be me that is being attacked. If he did make a carnivore and he does attack me, rather than someone who's actually winning, I mean, that's his problem, I guess. We both lose because of it. It could just be a big, like, fat tissue, foraging as well. That's probably some sort of warning call. Not sure why. Cool, so everyone else still has more species than me. So I don't know that attacking me is a particularly smart option. I'm hoping this guy kills this, this, and this, and, you know, this guy kills this, and this guy maybe hits this. Oh, he can't actually extinct these because, yeah, the warning call. So yeah, go for the guy who is getting the least card advantage, is getting nothing from the scavengers. Very smart. If he actually extincts it, he is kind of giving the game away, although, I mean, he's doing reasonably well as well. But I think if he hits this rather than this guy, I mean, he can hit them both, I guess. It's a tough call. Maybe, but given that these guys have had more species for longer, They just have more card advantage than me. And this guy's pretty entrenched as well now. Sure, we're both on 3 species here. Killing either one of them is sensible. This guy should have known no one else was going to attack this guy while he left himself open. He should have just gone for it. Bring him down. They should have left both their carnivores open, so if either one of them draws an ambush, they can deal with Woi. I need this intelligence, unfortunately. I'm hoping we don't get like a climbing carnivore. I'm a bit annoyed that I can't really use the burrowing as effectively as I'd like to. I think I'll put the horns up on this one, just so I've got something different. If he goes pack hunting, this still dies. I can't help that. I mean, I could put the climbing on it, but then, you know, if it's climbing, everything dies, so... I really don't think I'm going to need the intelligence this turn, so I'm going to leave it in hand. And I will undo this body size change if either this has a total of 5 at the or less at the end of this with the blank card, or, you know, 5 body size without the blank card. Okay, so that's reached 6. I'm going to leave this on 6. So if it's climbing, it's climbing. I didn't really have any good options there. I hope it's ambush, because that's what we really want it to be. And I've got the horns, so I think that's fine. Hopefully I can eat, because there's way too much food. So it was climbing. The exact thing that I really didn't need it to be. Because, again, not actually in the lead at the moment. And there's like a shitload of food that nobody needs. I'm gonna see what this guy put in, because he needs 1. Eating me, I'm kinda thinking maybe, actually, Woi's going along really well. He looks like he'll be winning this game. Yeah, he put in a 0, that was sensible. This guy put in a 7, and this guy put in a 4. So one thing that David Escalate should be maybe thinking about is how much he actually wants this scavenger to gain and leave available. Because if he'd waited, which you can do with the fat tissue, this scavenger would have been required to eat a little bit, at least that one, and it would have turned off our fertiles for this round. Well, that's good news. I can put this -2 intelligence in. I can set up a neat little symbiosis off of this. This guy with the climbing might keep it, just because this also has climbing. And then with this symbiosis here, I can put a long neck cooperation on. We can forage in this one. Everything is almost full from that. Maybe I just jump this up to 4 population. If this is going to have population, maybe it'll be better with saving the defensive herding for it while it's at the end. So I did put in the -2. I'm eating reasonably late. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with having the long neck out rather than hiding it in my hand and trying to eat 6. Don't get me wrong, I would love to eat 6. But I just don't see it as being reasonable. So again, 6v6, I'm fine. He probably won't eat the horns because he's full. If he had an ambush in his hand, I'd say he just misplayed it because he should have saved it to use next turn against Woi. Curious. Not worrying, but curious. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this setup. Part of me still says I shouldn't play the long neck. Yeah, maybe it's a good idea. I'll play the intelligence, because I was probably going to put it there eventually anyway. And if everything goes south, I can still use the intelligence. Okay, I'm not sure why this guy's just making species for everyone to eat. This is a pack-hunting carnivore. I did acknowledge that as a possibility, and as a pack-hunting carnivore, it was still not big enough to deal with this. So it's probably, yeah, just meant to deal with David here getting some things going. So I'm really glad I didn't put that long neck in the end, because people put in an 8. So Woi has this scavenger and this carnivore, so at most he needed 1 and could get 4. Putting in 8 was just a really bad decision. I didn't really check that I'm still going to be able to get some after this 6, but 2, 2, 1 I should be able to. Because I didn't, you know, keep an open track for my intelligence to go through. So this guy can actually take out all of this. This guy can take out both of these. I think that's what they should do. I don't know if it's what they will do. Actually, this is all going to die anyway. So maybe this guy just... well, he should still eat them because he gets food for it. That's a bad decision. Why eat your own species? It just helps Woi to extinct them. Why wouldn't Woi extinct the scavenging cooperator? These are some very strange decisions. Okay, so I do need to defend this species somehow right now. I'm wary of defending it with a warning call, but it is what the game has given me. I think I'd love to get a cooperation out here, but I just don't think it's feasible. Yeah, so he is going to make it just big enough to attack this, so I'll make this just defended enough not to be attacked. Part of my problem is this guy might bump his population, so I can't really defend with defensive herding this turn. The amount of cards that I need is like 1, so yeah, I think we'll put this in to here. We'll aim to be eating once and then intelligencing once. So I do end up having a problem if this guy has to eat this that'll annoy me a little bit. This will give this guy an opportunity to extinct it, which will let this guy, well, he'll already be full. Means I need to come up with another alternative defense for this. It probably ends up being the defensive herding. Yeah, so this, maybe he could have gone one further. He hasn't so far, is why I didn't put the defensive herding up just yet. There we go. That's a lot of interesting carnivores. Hopefully this one gets attacked by someone before it extincts itself on me. I'd appreciate that. So this guy can like attack all of this stuff. This guy can attack this and that. This is some very interesting stuff here. Well, I will just eat because that's what I'm doing. Yeah. So there's going to be lots of attacks, and hopefully none of them are going to be into my horns, because everyone has better options. Is this still 6? Depending on how much value these guys put in attacking, there will still be 5 for me. That was just rude. Wait, that lets him get extincted. He's inviting David to extinct him by losing a population there rather than attacking David. And that's what happens. He also didn't take the food that this species needed. All in all, very strange. We'll put it in this number, it's reasonably low. It's definitely something I'm thinking about, is setting up a long-neck cooperation species that's completely undefended here, using its those 2 cards to fuel my intelligence afterwards. I only need 1 card for my intelligence if I do this, though. This is a conundrum. So this has got ambush, which makes it able to attack this, especially if it puts up a pack hunting. Yeah, I definitely need to do that. It's hard to work out what else I need to do. I think if he puts up the pack hunting, I just make sure that I intelligence and then eat on this first turn. And I also don't really need the second card for the intelligence, because I'm expecting I'll be able to eat because I'm first. I think if he had a pack hunting, he'd have already slotted it straight in because it's a really obvious move. So I don't think he has one, which is pretty good for me. Intelligence is also a pretty great move to kill this, which that could be. Again, if it is, I'll eat as much as I can fast. But he will win the game. It is. It's an intelligence. He doesn't actually know that this is a defensive herding. It was a new card, but I also did push up to 6. So, yeah, I think it was pretty obvious. This guy put his symbiosis on the wrong side. I think David's got this game. In the end, I should have stuck with the horns. And there's no reason not to deny this food from your opponents at this point. I didn't even see this coming, yeah. Okay, well, the more he eats, the less extinct this will be, so this won't actually be extinct, which is something I'm fortunate for. It is still the obvious choice. You eat it, it ends up costing me 2 points. Like, maybe you do the first one on this one because you really don't want it to get the scavenger, and then you eat me, costing me 1 fewer points. But I really think David's got this game. He's been doing quite well. You can also time out to attack the horns without spending a card, apparently. Interesting choice. Also an interesting choice. So yeah, I'm relatively confident still that David has it. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, and Roy was second.